click.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. Welcome to the PSBS as the PlayStation Bull Session podcast. This is episode 13, so we're past the dozen
An
mark, so that's
unlucky
good
number.
going forward. Yeah, well, we'll get through it.
It's scaring me. Might as well
Yeah,
get this just one quick. It's got to be like 10
cool.
minutes.
Nah, we'll,
It's
we'll figure it out.
scary. I hate it. No, I want
Mm,
this to be done already.
no,
Just kidding.
nah, that's okay. It's okay. We'll
Mm.
get through it. But yeah. But anyway, I'm your host, Cody PSN Body Boy. My co-host here is
Andrew Radis, double is.
yes, and yeah, it's episode 13, and I know my co-host here is afraid it's an unlucky number, which
Mm.
I well, I really actually don't have that much news for this week, so it is kind of unlucky in a way. But so because of that, yeah, I don't have too much on the news notes or whatever. So it's gonna be a slightly different format episode. We're going to go over. We have viewer mail this week, right?
Yes, we do. We have 5. A total
Cool.
of 5.
Oh, there you go. See, that's gonna
So
save us
thank
this
you.
week. Thank you.
everybody.
Yes. We'll get to those in a bit, and then we're gonna segue into the news segment or the single piece of news. It's pretty big though, but we're gonna get to it at the end.
Mm.
But anyway, I got a few little announcements to get out of the way before we get to viewer mail and all that for the podcast.
Mm.
So, first thing is, starting last week, we are now on SoundCloud.
Mm.
So yeah, so starting last week with episode 12, you can now listen to us through the SoundCloud app. Just search PSBS. You can also download us as an MP3, so now you can download straight to your phone. So you can listen in the car or listen when you're doing work or whatever. So you're not just limited to the YouTube channel and the broadcasts.
Mhm.
On the browser. So you don't need to have a browser. You can download and all that.
We got to put a link down there.
Yep, a link will be link should be at the bottom. And by the time you're hearing this, the link should be live where episode 13 should be up for listening and downloading. And episode 12 is up there too to download.
Excellent.
Download and listen. Yeah. So, yeah. So we got that. Expanding the podcast, giving you new ways to listen to us. Trying to make it easier for you guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Other thing is, like I said, we're always trying to come up with new ways to do stuff outside the podcast.
Oh.
To kind of expand our content.
Expanding the horizon.
And yeah. And one thing that just came my way today is I actually got a code for the Elder Scrolls Online beta.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm downloading it right now. It's going to take forever.
How big is the file?
Dude, the main game is like 39 gigs.
Oh, okay.
And there's an update file that's 15 gigs. And they're downloading simultaneously right now.
Well, maybe you should pause one and just do one go.
Yeah, I thought about doing that. I probably should do that.
But wait, what does that tell to me? I mean, I don't have the Elder Scrolls Online beta.
Well, no, but what I'm going to do is, because it says a closed beta, so I don't know how many people are actually in it.
Oh, so you want to invite some people?
Well, yeah, we could do that too. If you have the beta, you can look me up on PSN. Bye, boys. It's in the description. So if you have the beta, yeah, we can play online this weekend. But also, I'm going to be doing, like I said, I don't know how many people have it because I signed up for this beta like a year ago.
Yeah.
That's why I got the beta code. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be live streaming it over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Just so people can check it out. So if you guys want to look at that, it'll be, I'll have it in the title. I'll say PSBS, streams or whatever. Plays, Elder Scrolls Online.
I'm sure people are going to
PS4.
ask, are you going to have the camera on?
Probably not. Probably just be me talking with my headphones or something. But I mean, you can be in there too. I'll just live stream it, and you can be in the chat room, so you can still talk with me. So even though you don't have the beta, you can still watch me play, and you can talk with me. You can talk together. We don't have any set time for that because, like I said, it'll be whenever it's done downloading.
Whenever it's done downloading. Well, I'm pretty sure by the weekend it's got to finish, right?
Yeah. I'm hoping it'll be done for tomorrow because that's when the beta actually starts. Because even if you had super fast internet and you download it all today, the beta itself doesn't really start till tomorrow. The servers don't come on.
I would presume at least on the weekend time frame would maybe be about after noon Eastern time. So
yeah, like I said, we don't have a fixed time, but just it'll be kind of just whenever as we over the weekend I'll be when I play, I'll live stream and I'll have it set to PSBS. So if you want to search it,
You want to maybe put your Twitch also on the description?
I don't even know what my Twitch is. I think my Twitch is just
Oh,
Bayou Boys. I think because I don't use it that much. I think my Twitch is just Bayou Boys, but with 2 Z's instead of one
support, man.
Z.
If you want that Twitch partnership, you gotta, yeah, crank
Yeah.
it.
Okay, well there. I'm pretty sure it's Bayou Boys, but with 2 Z's instead of
And
one
we
Z. For some
will
reason, I guess
also
the
take
one Z was
subscribers and
already
donations.
taken.
Just kidding.
No,
No, no, no, no, no,
no,
no.
no,
So maybe you can help
no.
us buy Elder Scrolls Online. Just kidding.
No, but yeah. So that's what I have planned for this weekend as far as extra content. I'll be playing Elder Scrolls Online and streaming it. And yeah, if you have the beta too and you want to play, then yeah, just send me a friend invite or something. Like I said, it's Bayou Boys. It's in the video description.
Yeah.
The PSN thing, and I'll be live streaming it through the weekend. So just check on that, and my co-host here will be commentating on it with me if he's on
Yes, if I am
and
on.
sees it.
Maybe
If
seeing.
you're
I
on, it's
am
looking.
curious about Elder Scrolls Online on PS4. I wonder how much it's
Yeah.
changed.
hmm
Very curious.
And then for next week's episode, I'll have played it and I'll talk about it on the podcast next week. Kind of what my impression of it is
Yeah,
based on what I've played
good.
of the beta.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have that next week. So that's gonna be something. So, I could also. Well, they said there's no non-disclosure agreement, so they say you can live stream and take screenshots and record. So I guess I could record it too and upload that to YouTube.
Well, why would
Just
they
upload
have
there.
why would they have a barrier?
Well, no, because some people don't want like the beta footage to get out because
Really?
then people are like, oh no, it's rough, and it's like, well, no, it's just a beta, like it's.
Well,
I mean,
we
I don't
don't
know
have
anyone
a
who's
huge audience, so I don't think people will
yeah,
care. I don't think they'll care.
but I don't know. Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't know too many betas I've done that recently where they don't want you sharing it. Like, I remember the Destiny beta, the Hardline beta. It was all share it. We want you to share
And
it.
same with the recent alpha or whatever it is of
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Mhm.
Whoops, yeah.
Yeah. It's like we want you to share it. So that's another thing too I could do. So if you guys, like I said, because I know I'm not giving you guys a fixed time on when I'm going to be streaming it, but yeah, I'll probably record it too and maybe upload segments of it as a video on YouTube. So we'll see.
Highlights maybe.
Highlights, yeah.
Highlights.
Highlights of the Elder Scrolls Online beta.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Like I said, ways we're expanding. Trying to expand to get to that extra content. Live streaming, video clips, all that. Should hopefully just over the weekend and maybe by next week we'll have some video uploaded. So
Yeah, sounds good to me.
hmm So with that, now that I think that's the only other announcement I have out of the way. So talk about SoundCloud and Elder Scrolls Online plans, and I guess we can move on to viewer mail. You got it loaded up?
That's right. Of course, I do have the precious viewer mail that has come, and we'll start from the kind of the lower, smaller questions onto the quite heavy hitters here. This first one comes from Kyle. He asks about Shovel Knight, which has just come out this week on PlayStation platforms and next week on Xbox. Shovel Knight's fantastic so far. I played quite a bit of it yesterday when it went live. It's a lot of fun so far. I definitely recommend it. Is Shovel Knight also? He asked, is Shovel Knight also on PlayStation 3? And is it cross save? Well, to answer your question, yes, Shovel Knight is crossed by across PS4, PS3, and PS Vita. So you'll be able to play all three of them and those platforms. So if you buy it once, it entitles you to all three. And of course, it is cross save, and the cross save does work quite well since I tried it both on Vita and PS4, so it works just fine. So, definitely. So if you have either of those PlayStation platforms, definitely pick up Shovel Knight. It is currently $12 right now if you're a Plus member. So yeah, it's just finally nice to see it here. It's been like almost a year since the game came out. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, but the game's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I don't know. I don't know if I want to get it yet.
I mean, I had like that case in the Hotline Miami 2 where like I just wasn't in the mood for it, and then same with Bastion because Bastion was also a game that was a long time coming, more so than Shovel Knight. Bastion was like years ago. Uh,
Well, for me, it's like I'm just conflicted because it's like,
mm.
what do I want to spend $20 on more? Do I want to spend $20 on? I know Shovel Knight not
Oh
$20,
yeah,
but
well at this
it's
point
almost
to buy
$20.
things, it's like Rock Band
Yeah,
DLC to save up, or like games.
yeah. But it's like, do I want to spend $20 to get Shovel Knight? Do I want to spend $20 to go get Shadow Mordor? Because
Oh
that's $20 right now on sale at like Best Buy.
yeah,
Do I want to spend $20 on the last color Scott Pilgrim book? All these little things came out this week, and I'm just like,
pick
do I
one
want
or
my
else one will
$20?
go away.
I know, like I don't know which one to put my $20
Well,
towards.
since Shovel Knight's a bit cheaper now, maybe you
Well,
could
that's a
pick up.
little under $20.
Yeah, Shovel Knight's a little cheaper at a temporary price, so I probably will pick up that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of foresee about Shadow Mordor if it maybe gets like a complete edition where like it comes with DLC,
Mm.
because not all this. I don't know if all the season pass stuff is out yet, but you never know if there's a complete edition in that game in any form. So I might wait
Yeah.
for that. It might be a little more than $20. I would take it. It might be 40 or 30, but I don't know. Shadow Mordor is fantastic, so you should get that if anybody hasn't played it yet. Sure, a lot of folks out there have played it.
I haven't.
It's a fantastic game. Um,
Mm.
all right, now let's get to the other heavy hitting questions. This one comes from Brandon. He asks about being a video game entertainer on YouTube. He asks,
Mm-hmm.
"Is it safe nowadays to be a video game entertainer on YouTube? With recent news that over 30 YouTube channels, large and small, have been hacked over the past couple of weeks, do you think it's viable or safe to put yourselves out there and risk having personal information compromised?" Um, well, at first I was a little confused of what this news that he was entitling here, but under some research, I had found out that indeed, actually more than 30, about like 40 YouTube gaming channels and Twitch channels have been hacked by a group, like a hacker group, not anonymous,
Mm.
if you're maybe thinking that, by some hacker groups out there on Twitter. Their Twitter currently is shut down. Won't really say what the name of the Twitter is, so we don't have to give them more attention than they already have. But yes, a lot of gaming channels have been hacked recently. So to really answer this question, whether or not it's safe, well, I mean, you can really say that for anything that's outside of gaming on YouTube as well. You always have to make sure your stuff's in order and in check, and you always have to be careful of any kind of things that might happen to your account. You always have to be on top of it. You can't. So you always have good passwords, and nowadays you just get email notifications from like Google, or phone calls from Google if like any of your information is compromised or something's really wrong or off about your channel, or anything else that you have like Twitter or Instagram. But I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what's kind of your take on that a lot of gaming
Well,
channels have been hacked. I mean, this is like a true fact. We've been seeing a lot of
yeah.
hacks.
Well, I mean, if you're, yeah, I mean, I mean, if you're just starting as a gaming channel, then you're not really that much of a
Yeah,
target.
yeah, that's the thing, right? Yeah, that's right. Well, have been some small channels that have been hacked. Like the smallest one I saw maybe had like a 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah, weird. That's
That's a
oh
gold.
boy, I think that's like 10 times more than us.
Yeah, he's just
So
curious. I mean, I don't know if this Brandon guy wants to, maybe that's why he's acting that. Maybe if he wants to be as aspiring YouTube creator
yeah.
in any kind of
Oh
way.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, don't let this scare you if you want to start your own channel or anything. Because I mean, like it's like you said. I mean, this happens to everyone. Like every company kind of has their little hacks, here and there. Security breaches. It's just a thing nowadays.
oh,
Um,
but this was
you
no, but
know,
this was done. This was more of an isolated incident. Like these,
isolated
well, not
incidents. Well, there you
really
go.
isolated if it was 30, but no, this was these were
30,
targeted.
but
These definitely were targeted. These were intent.
targeted. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
not.
not a
It's not a
widespread breach.
not a widespread. Okay, there you go. So it's not really like more like a hack. It's more of a targeting kind
Yeah,
of
it was
thing.
really
So
more than
okay.
targeting, because after,
Well, yeah.
yeah, they
Then
gloat about who they hacked, and they after they were done with their reign of hacking, they like had a list of people that they hacked and like what.
then then yeah, it kind of goes back to what I said. Yeah, if you're not, I mean, if you're just starting, then you won't be at
Yeah,
target
you will.
right off the bat.
So you shouldn't be too scared.
So Yeah, it shouldn't be too scary.
No,
I mean,
well, actually, don't be scared at all. You should be too scared to have a lower level of
don't be
scare.
too scared. No, have
Even
no
though
have
we're on
no fear.
13, I'm scared of 13. But
Even though we're on 13, yeah.
yes,
Yeah, have no fear.
yes,
You gotta trust the internet.
yes. So you know, and also be careful. Have a good password. Don't have your password as password. Right?
And try to use more numbers that aren't correlated to your birthday.
Yeah, that's also very important.
Yeah.
Um, this next one here comes from Richard. He asks, with recent rumors shot down of the Vita redesign, do you think Sony should redesign the Vita, or start designing some no, or start designing some more games for the platform? Well, I don't know. Maybe he's meaning first party games because there are plenty of games on the Vita right now. Maybe he's just speaking of
Oh
first
yeah.
party. I think that's what he's meaning for Sony.
Yeah, probably.
Um, well, yes.
Yeah, no, it was just I don't know. I just laughed because just the way it was worded. It's like rumors saying they're not going to design a Vita, but should they? That's kind of like how the question came off as. But I mean, I don't know. They just put out the 2000 model, right? It wasn't like what a year ago they put out the
Oh,
2000
well,
model.
by this year it'll be 2 years.
Really?
By the end of this
Hmm.
year, yeah, it's going to be about 2 years.
Oh, the end of this year.
Well, by the
Yeah,
end
I
of
don't know. I don't know. I just really don't know what more you can do with it to like
Yeah.
get people to buy it. Like as far as a
For-
redesign, without it being like something ridiculous, like what happened with the 3DS, where it's like, oh, the new 3DS has more processing power, so we can play certain games
Oh
that the
no, I
old
was almost
3DS
thinking
can't
of a
do.
2DS where like it's even more downgraded than.
It's the Vita Go.
Knowing Sony, dude, they'll probably do one.
Yeah, the Vita. Oh my God, the Vita Go. It's gonna be really small.
And
It's gonna be
there's
flip.
but you can't even put memory cards in it. It has its own built-in memory.
Yeah, it's gonna have its own build, and instead of having analog sticks, it's gonna have like little flat things like the PSP had, but it's gonna have two of them. And and it's gonna be
Oh, the
gonna be
PSP Go.
Oh, I love the PSP Go though. Like I know we make fun of it and you laugh anytime it's brought up, but I have a PSP Go and it's awesome. So I loved it. I loved the design of it and its compact kind of way. It fits right in your pocket.
Well,
It's
what do you
just
think about it? It's its precursor to the Vita with kind of. I
yeah.
mean, well, yes, Vita has memory cards, but like the majority of my Vita games are digital, and that was kind of maybe
Mm-hmm.
what they were kind of aiming for in the future of that.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I really like the PSP Go. Like I said, I love the size of it, the design and all that. It was just one of those things where like it was kind of ahead of its time in a way where everybody was like, "What? Digital only?"
No, too
That's
scary.
crazy. Too scary. And then the damn thing was expensive too. It's like you think
Yeah.
it'd be cheaper,
Nope.
but
Yeah, it
nope.
was expensive
It
when
was
it first released. I actually thought about getting one because I had the PSP 1000 and it was just no. Like, it was way
Yeah,
too
well,
expensive.
that's why I got my PSP Go because my PSP 1000 the battery died in it, so you couldn't charge it anymore, and 1000 batteries are really hard to find.
Mhm.
So I was just like, screw it, I'll get a PSP Go because that's the newest one.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, I love my PSP Go. It's just came out at a bad time. It's everybody was just like, we don't need this, we just don't need this at this point because the Vita was like what a year or two out.
Right.
It
Mhm.
was just like, but yeah, that'd be something they put out of Vita Go. It'd just be like, what?
So
But
then, there's other part of the question:
but go,
designing
yeah,
some
but
more games. Well, of course, we all want
designing some
more
more games,
first-party
yeah.
games, but yeah, I mean, I think just maybe the money that would be spent in research and development should probably be spent on maybe getting some more games. Yes, on the Vita, like they've been really good with some of the ports from third-party games, like the Resident Evil game, and then
Yeah,
Revelations 2 that's coming, and
yeah,
games that they get from Telltale being
yeah.
ported later. So I think they should spend their
Mhm.
money on getting like those kind of games out the door better. So
Games.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's what Sony's not getting. Like they're thinking, oh, it's the Vita itself that's wrong, right? Like that's why people aren't buying this. I'm like, well, no, it's not really the Vita. It's the games. You need something that's going to catch the general audience's attention. I mean, look at what Nintendo's doing with the 3DS. Nothing makes sense about the 3DS. Any version of the 3DS, none of it makes sense, and yet it's still selling like crazy because guess what? They got games for it.
Yeah.
That appeal to a large audience. Like, it really makes no sense to me just on paper. Like, none of it makes sense. Like when the 3DS got announced, it's like it's a 3DS. So everybody's like, well, what is it? Is it just a DS but with 3D? Like, no, it's a new system. It plays different games, like new games that can't be on a DS.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, but yet it's still sold. Well, I mean, well, actually, no, the 3DS did take a while to like get momentum and start selling because at first it wasn't doing too well.
I still, the
But
one thing, not to really sound fanboyish or just really wrong here, but I just don't like just how the games look on DS. Look, I'm not the biggest graphics guy or anything, but to really care too much. But dude, the DS games look like old cell phone games. Like we have already phones are already getting better in their processing. Like phones on my iPhone, games on my iPhone look better
what?
than the 3DS games.
Oh, 3DS.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
You're
talking
just
about
saying
3DS
because
games.
yeah,
Not
because
Vita.
you're just saying DS at first. I was
Well,
like,
DS.
what do you mean?
3DS games
Well, yeah,
look like DS
3DS.
games too. They
Yeah.
look the same, most of them. I mean, granted, yes, you have 3D, and there's probably better some graphics things in the system, but a lot of 3DS games are looking old. They're really looking dated.
Yeah.
And I know that's
But
really not in Nintendo's interest to really like make graphically games that are like on par with Vita, but at this point, it's really starting to really kind of get to me a
yeah.
little bit. And like especially looking like at Smash Brothers, I think games like Pokemon are fine. Like they don't need to look amazing, but just just RPGs, games that you're gonna stare at for long periods of time. I kind of wish at this point that they looked a little better than this. I
Yeah.
just feel like it's really limiting at this point. But whatever Nintendo's new thing might be, I just hope maybe it looks a little like more advanced and like actually look like next generation, not just kind of like
Mm.
a slight, um, not like a slight difference from DS to 3DS because it doesn't really look all that different. That's why I said DS in the beginning because like honestly, it doesn't look all that better. 3DS doesn't look all that better from DS.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, like I said, that was the big confusion. It's really weird. I mean, I know Sony's terrible at marketing because they don't do it at all.
Hmm.
But Nintendo's marketing is really weird too
Yeah,
because they just don't know. Like their products don't sound like new products. Like
not
like I
really.
said, when
No.
the 3DS, when the 3DS was first announced, like a lot of people thought, and even I thought it was just a DS. But hey, it can do 3D now. And then they had to stress to people, no, like this is it. This is like the next generation of the DS, like the new portable
Yeah, it was
system.
the same. It was the same
And
thing
then
with Wii U. It kept the same.
yeah,
It
and
kept
then
the
we
same. It kept the
yeah
name.
yeah, and then Wii U, and then the weird thing with the Wii U was that they announced as the Wii U, and then they only showed the controller off. So everybody was like, "So wait a minute, is this a new system or is it just a controller for the Wii?"
Yeah,
You
and
know?
Sony was able to do that kind of shtick better because even though they showed just the controller but they were able to show the games and actually how they look different from PS3 because
Yeah.
they didn't show the box till E3.
No.
They didn't show the box, which they were able to get away with better than Nintendo because they were
Well, yeah,
able
because
to.
it's called the PS. Well, yeah,
It's
'cause it's
called
called the
PS4.
PS4, so people can infer there and say like, "Oh, it's a four. Four is
Huh?
higher than three."
No, I can't use this new looking controller on the PS3. Well, you could now, but
Yeah,
technically you could, but
technically,
technically you could.
you know. And then and then when Nintendo announced the 2DS, I was like, I thought it was a joke. Like, what is this?
Oh, the door
It's
stopper.
like, yeah, it's just like here, it's a 2DS. It's like a cheaper, less powerful version of the 3DS. It doesn't have 3D in it, and then so does it? And then it was so confusing too because it's called a 2DS, but it still plays 3DS games, and it's just not in
Yeah, it
3D,
just
and it's
doesn't.
like,
Yeah, it doesn't present them in
okay.
2D.
And then now they got the new 3DS, where it's called the new 3DS, and it's more powerful, so it can play some games that the 3DS can't.
Yeah.
Of course, though, I say that, but really only one game does that. I think it's
So far.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah,
Is the
so
only
far.
game that can only be played on a new 3DS,
Hmm.
and it's called the new 3DS. So are you like gonna not put out another one because if you put out another one, what are you gonna call it? The new 3DS?
Mm,
It just kind of seems a little weird.
I'm
But
starting to
anyway,
think
the
that's
point I'm
probably.
trying to make with all
I'm
this,
pretty sure this is the last iteration of the DS that you're gonna. Iteration of the 3DS, I should say, that you'll see. I don't really see
yeah,
any other ones coming out anytime soon.
yeah. But the point I'm trying to make with all this Nintendo stuff is just that Nintendo's a company that just does all these like crazy marketing decisions and weird names and stuff, and they still get away with it. And the biggest reason they get away with it is because they have games to back these crazy products. Like, hey, this thing can play Mario. This thing can play Pokemon, stuff like that. Where like Sony's like, well, let's keep redesigning the Vita, and it's like, well, no, you can't just keep redesigning the Vita. You got to put the games to support it. Something that's going to catch general audiences, like something that's going to catch people, like I kept saying, Minecraft was huge on Vita. If they would just promote it, like sell Minecraft bundles with a Vita,
Yeah,
like a
and
Vita Minecraft
honestly, I
bundle, that
kind
would
of
have
forgot
sold.
that Minecraft is on Vita already. I kind of forgot.
Yeah, and it's weird because the game runs really well on Vita, so it's not even like it's a broken port or anything. It runs really well. If they would just promote it, and like I said, around Christmas, just say, hey, look, a Minecraft Vita bundle. You can play Minecraft portably with the real buttons and not just tap away on your phone.
Yeah.
So that'd be huge for them. Because that's already a big thing right there. They just need to promote it. Is Minecraft. Going forward, if they can go other bigger things, if they can make a good Call of Duty for Vita, that would be big for them.
I wish.
But again, it's just wishful thinking. And now, and like you say, you laugh because now it's almost a joke now, like to say, "Oh, what if they did this on Vita?" And
Yeah.
it's just like you just laugh
That's why I
because you're
shot
like,
down
"No, you."
like any hope of an Infamous or a God of War on Vita. That's why I know more. Like I don't see it at this point.
Yeah, because it just, it's getting to that point where it just feels like,
No,
if not
we go
now,
E3
then
after E3 of like none, and it's just like why have any hope?
yeah,
Because remember, the
'cause-
Vita's show floor now it seems like is either GDC or it's PlayStation Experience,
yeah.
because that's where
And
it was really at.
and we're not saying that there isn't games on
No,
Vita. We're just
there is
saying there's no.
first party.
There is games on Vita. There's plenty. Like there's like the indie games, and then like they're porting stuff. Like the Telltale games get ported. Resident Evil Revelations is getting ported to Vita. So there's still good games on Vita. They're just not the ones that like grab the general audience's attention and say, "Hey, I need to buy this."
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. Like we're not saying the Vita doesn't have no games. We just don't. It just have the what we call it, crowd pleasing games. The ones that's really going to pull people in.
Right.
So, so that's what we're saying. We're saying they don't need a new redesign. They need some more games to like pull people in.
Right. Well, I hope that answered Richard's question.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, we'll go over another YouTube one again. This one comes from
Okay.
Cody, and this one's an interesting one. He told me this one in a party,
Alright.
so then I jotted this question down for him. He asks
There you go.
about independent developers. He asks,
Mm-hmm.
"How do you think small independent developers should handle criticism from folks on both YouTube and other social media platforms?" Well, then when he asked me that question, I had just recently had seen that one of the more prominent YouTubers called Total Biscuit, he got into some drama with one indie developer from Titan Souls, I believe. I don't even know what this game is. Titan Souls. I don't. Have you ever heard of it? Titan Souls.
Yeah, that came out this past week on PlayStation. I don't really know what's about.
Yeah, me
but
neither.
I've heard of
He
it.
just what the whole drama was behind that is that he had tweeted out that basically he just gave his opinion on the game, and once that happened, one of the art designers of the game or whatever, part of the indie team, was just kind of getting in a hissy fit about it, and like he even showed pictures of him like actually printing out that tweet and putting it on a fridge and kind of acting like a child, kind of. And
Yeah.
after that, he said, "Well, guess what? I'm not going to cover your game anymore." And guess what? His viewership, he has like 1.5 million subscribers, and each of his videos at least get 250,000 views each. So he said, rather than like talking down on the game and getting the game more attention, he just decided to just cut ties and not even talk about the game anymore, which I
Yeah.
would guess is a smart move. But it was bad
Yeah.
on his part that he kind of
Mhm.
threw a fit like that. One of the guys of the indie developer team of Titan Souls and just was acting like a child.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's not the way to go.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying you need to like like these big YouTubers, like, you don't need to be like, you don't have to treat them special because, hey, if I piss them off, they're gonna screw me over. Like, you don't have to treat them special, but treat them fairly. You know,
Yeah.
like if you are an indie developer and if you see one of these big YouTubers, commenting negatively about your game, you either have to do
Well, I don't
either
know.
just
Yeah,
ignore it,
that guy
just
was
move.
not being. Yeah, wait. Actually, to be fair for that guy, he wasn't being negative. Like he just gave his opinion. That's all. It
Yeah.
wasn't even a
So,
negative opinion. He
but
was just like, the game isn't for me. That was it. He was just like, it isn't for
yeah.
me. The way the game is.
Yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess some of these indie developers just kind of take it
Too
a little,
too seriously.
personal to heart because a little too seriously. Because I mean, a lot of these indie teams are really small. So like when you kind of not like you said, he didn't really insult the game, but like when you talk negatively about the game, it really hurts these guys
Yeah.
because there's only like a small group. So like these guys all worked really closely on it, and they kind of take it a little more to heart, because they're a small team working really hard around the clock to get that going out. Not saying the bigger developers don't do work. It's just it's a much larger team, so the workload's kind of distributed a bit more.
Yeah.
Where with these indie things, it's like, no, it's these 10 guys.
Mm-hmm.
So if you insult a game, you're insulting all 10 guys right there directly,
Yeah.
saying, hey, your work sucks, or I didn't like it, or something like that. So yeah, I do kind of get where these indie guys are coming from, where they take more offense to these comments, but you got to be mature about it. You have to either, basically, if you see a negative comment, either don't respond to it, just let it be,
Yeah.
or just calmly respond back saying, hey, I'm sorry, our game wasn't for you, but maybe you can try doing this, saying, hey, maybe if you play it this way, or hey, maybe maybe look forward to our next game, it will be this,
Oh,
or
that's good.
something
That's
like
better.
that.
Yeah, that's way better than tweeting out, other than printing out the bad message and putting it on your fridge.
Hmm.
Which is very
Yeah,
immature.
it's
Yeah.
just, yeah, it is very mature. I think, like I said, I do kind of get where they're coming from. Like I said, it kind of does feel like a direct personal insult,
Yeah, and then
because it's a
considering, I
small
guess,
team. But
maybe like the amount of viewership that one guy has, you know,
hmm
because he has thousands of Twitter followers, and he has a million YouTube subscribers. So maybe hit like whatever his opinion on it is, that less people would probably buy Titan Souls. Possibly, that's just like a possibility. But then again, he is giving attention to the game, so that's already something right
yeah,
there. So maybe that guy should actually just be happy that his viewership is actually giving attention to the game, whether it's good or bad. It doesn't matter. At least it's attention of the game. So in
yeah,
all fairness, he should be thankful that he's even that game has even grabbed his attention. It's not like a GTA or any other kind of big game that he's been going over recently. It's a small game. So, in
yeah,
essence, whether it's good or bad, I'd just be happy he's even talking about it. Honestly,
yeah,
right? So,
hmm
at the end of the day,
yeah,
yeah.
something. It's like
Mm-hmm.
one day we'll get to that point. We'll have so much pull. We'll bring developers down to their knees just by talking bad about them.
I would like to do it to the bigger corporations, please. The EAs
But
and
they don't
Ubisoft.
care.
They don't though, but I want them to. They'll be down to the knees.
We'll get there someday. We're just
I'll
gonna
be
get our
Superman.
viewership.
You're down to your knees.
Yeah.
You will worship me.
Uh,
Well, then Batman will come from the ashes and try and kill me.
yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's too
That
funny.
whole thing.
Um, as we were talking about marketing, probably should have had this one as a leeway, but um, this one comes from Rachel. She asks about how do you guys think marketing should be approached in today's gaming culture? Is using all of the is using wait, but this is the second part. Is using all of the platforms available necessary to ensure a game will be successful? Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Cause
of course you want to use as many as you want, but what were you
yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Cause I mean, well, I kind of talked about marketing already, or at least just the way Nintendo does it with these like crazy names for their products, and yet they still sell for some reason. But that's mostly because they have
But
games to back it
that's a
up.
product. I think this one. I guess
That's a
this
product.
question,
This is
this is
more for
for
games.
games in general, just a
Yeah.
small game.
Yeah. Cause that's, God, that's the thing with game marketing. It's really weird. Cause most of it is done online
Yes.
because they know people buying our game, because like the developers are thinking, okay, the people who are buying our games are already online anyway. They're going to IGN or PlayStation Lifestyle or some type of website
Or if
where they're
they're subscribed to
seeing
Game
they're seeing
Informer or something.
yeah, it's Game Informed. They're seeing it. They're seeing coverage of it. They're seeing the reviews. They're seeing the videos. They're seeing
YouTube.
the previews. They're seeing all that. They're watching the E3 conferences, and they're tuned in. So they're tuned into that to that on internet and know what's going on and what's available and what isn't. And Sony takes that it takes advantage of that a bit too much because they almost rely on all their marketing through online.
Yes, they do. They
And
have. I think they just had recently surpassed 1 million Instagram followers, and I've also surpassed 1.5 million Twitter followers.
yeah, and I mean what I mean by that is that they basically
Yeah,
I think they even said a quote this one time it was like a year or two ago where they said they expect most of their buyers to get their news or their coverage through the internet.
yeah,
Like they expect the kind of the games to sell themselves, but because of that, they're not really marketing on television, getting the
yeah.
kind of
That's the thing
general
that
audiences
sucks.
who aren't
I
there,
remember.
and
Yeah, I
they
remember
have been.
somebody saying one point like, "What? Oh, why does Coke and Pepsi and Doritos keep advertising all the time when we already know that they exist?" I'm like, "Well, they always have to, because like Sony, they really suspect that the Vita word of mouth deal is gonna cut it." I'm like, "Well, it isn't. It
No,
is not.
it's
Unfortunately,
not.
it's not." And they actually need to put like mainstream advertising out there, because you know
Yeah,
why Coke, not fair to say about food, because food is a different industry, but you know why does Coke, Pepsi, and Doritos advertise all the time? That's to keep them alive and all the time.
yeah.
Sony just thinks, oh
Like
well, just let the people online do it. Yes, online is great and it helps, but it's not enough to fully
just
sustain.
do just do one commercial
Mm,
for a kid playing Minecraft on your Vita, and there you go. You just sold, hundreds more Vitas. Just do one commercial like that.
yeah.
You know. And I mean, shoot, Sony can hire us. We'll make it. We'll make that Minecraft commercial for
I
you.
don't know
It'll
what
be
kid.
real
We're
simple and
not
easy.
really kids, but we gotta get a little
No,
kid. We gotta get a little
we'll
kid.
find some kids. We'll find some little kids. We'll find some adults.
Shoot it.
Kind of show, hey, Minecraft goes across all age barriers. That sort of thing.
Yeah, mainly all the
We'll make.
commercials have been online for Sony. The most recent one maybe we can think of. Well, actually, the most recent PS4 commercial I could think of was actually when I was watching Flash on CW, and they kind of had a montage of all the main first-party Sony games, and it was just like
Yeah.
they had Bloodborne, MLB, The Order
Batman.
1886.
It's not first party, but the Batman was still in there.
Oh yeah, Batman was in there too, but they were really treating Batman like a first party.
Yeah.
It's Batman's their destiny this year,
Mm-hmm.
dude.
Um.
I
Yeah, because
wait.
I
Did I
saw.
just say both of those things in the same sentence? It kind of disgusted me. I want to backtrack on that. In terms of the way that they're treating it as like a first-party game, they're making their own
Yeah.
bundle for it. They want that
Mm-hmm.
game to be associated with PlayStation, not quality-wise. We already no.
Yeah.
Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're still plugging those commercials. Like you said, they did it during Flash. They did the same commercial during like the season finale of Walking Dead, so they know they're getting a high viewership through those moments. But still, I mean, yeah, their marketing has done better.
Oh,
Recently.
it's not saying much,
Um,
but yeah.
it's not saying much, but it has gone up. We've seen, like you said, the montage commercial. I saw commercials for the Order 1886.
Yeah.
Just for that game
Mm-hmm.
when that game was coming out. There was Last of Us commercials when that game came out. There's been GTA 5 commercials.
Yes.
So they've been really kind of seeing more of those game commercials, and again, it kind of falls more on the third party games where you know like EA, like for example, when you see a Batman commercial, that those commercials are made by Warner Brother Interactive, to distribute out. So Sony is really not even making those commercials; they're just paying to get their logo on the end, so it's associated as a PlayStation game.
All right.
You know. So again, it's not even going into Sony's advertising money pockets. It's just, well, I mean, kind of, but not. They're not putting the trouble of getting it out there. It's up to Warner Bros. To get that out there. You know. So they're kind of just piggybacking off of the third party stuff, right? In that sense, they are putting in some first party commercials. And oh yeah, and then they're really promoting what was the other one? Oh, NBA the show,
No.
MLB.
Yeah, I'll be the show.
Yeah, because it's the only baseball game this year. There's no 2K or anything. So like if you want to play a baseball game this year, you got to play it on PlayStation.
Right.
you know. So so I mean they've done that, but it's just in the PS3 generation it was terrible. Like games would just not be promoted at all. Like PlayStation All-Stars could have done better if they would just promote the damn thing.
Mm.
Seen a couple commercials here and there of just look all these PlayStation characters in one game. If they would have shown a couple of commercials, they could have sold it. Or what was the other one? Oh, Twisted Metal was the big one. I don't know what happened with that game. Man, Twisted Metal was like the sad story from PlayStation because it was weird because when Sony first announced Twisted Metal, the new one, the PS3 one, they even said that like we are going to market this game, we are going to make this game a blockbuster, and none of that happened.
I mean, it
Like
was also a thing of bad timing. I mean, didn't it release the same week as the U.S. release of Vita?
no, what happened was, see the weird thing with Twisted Metal, like I said, Sony promised that they're going to market the hell out of this game and make it a blockbuster, but I guess what happened was a few things. I guess the game got delayed, and the game came out. The game came out 1 week after the Vita,
Oh, well, it was
and
one
it
week
came
after.
out.
Yeah, that's right.
It was 1 week after the Vita, and it came out the same day as Mass Effect 3.
Ooh.
So it was already going head to head with the big game right there that did have a huge marketing push. Mass Effect 3 had commercials all the time.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess Sony was like, oh well, we put all of our marketing money into the Vita launch, so oh well, Twisted Metal, you better just get by on nostalgia. So it was really sad because, like I said, Sony promised that they were going to actually advertise and make Twisted Metal blockbuster, and they dumped it. They just dumped it in March with no advertising and just put it in a bad time. Like, do you really expect people to buy a game 1 week after a console launch? You know,
Yeah. And
and
then on top of the conclusion of one of the most popular game franchises that was
yeah.
coming out at the time.
So I don't know, man. I just don't know what Sony like that. That was the saddest thing Sony did for me was when they just dumped Twisted Metal like that, and it was just like
That
no
might be
advertisement.
possibly, but I'm thinking that the most saddest. Do you think that? Okay, maybe that one's pretty sad, but is it the saddest?
Well, for me it is. Well, for me it is because I love Twisted Metal and just the way
Yeah,
that
I don't
they
really
just
have
did
that
not.
attachment to Twisted Metal, so maybe that's why I can't resonate with it too
Yeah,
much.
I do.
But the saddest Sony. I don't. I like to say Resistance, but that one was already kind of telling. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that one
I
might
don't-
be just maybe just the idea of it, like you said, the long.
Yeah, for me.
First.
Yeah, for me. Well, for me it was Twisted Metal because I love Twisted Metal. Like it's really special to me, and the fact that they promised they make this game a blockbuster, and they just dropped it with no advertisement and no hope of being a success. In its time slot, and like I said, no one bought it. There was no DLC support at all. Not a single piece of DLC was released for that game.
Were there any patches? I'm sure there were patches at least for the game.
I mean, yeah, I guess there was patches, but there was nothing that changed the game.
Was
the
there
game
really?
is
For the diehard Twisted Metal fans, was that game even well received on like just?
yeah.
Okay. Well, like in the community,
people
people actually
yeah,
liked
people liked yeah, people liked it. It was a good game. It just Sony didn't market it, and no one bought it at launch, and there was just no DLC support. There was no. The game today is the same it was at launch, basically. I mean, yeah, there's probably some patches, but there was no like changes to the gameplay. They didn't add maps.
It's funny
they
that
didn't
you
add
gotta laugh at that
cars.
now because the way that games are nowadays, like they get constant patches, and really games change a lot from launch, especially if they're online heavy, which Twisted Metal is. I mean, it was really
Yeah.
meant to be played with others, but just yeah, it's kind of weird now for that game to like not really have a lot of support.
Yeah.
I would also like to say maybe SOCOM was, but SOCOM just fell under the bad timing thing of the PlayStation Network.
Yeah, SOCOM's another sad story too, just because of the fact that they promoted it and it was set to be a big thing, but like you said, it just launched during that hack and the hack killed it.
Yeah, because that was like the week after. Well, not the week after. It was like the day after. Really, it felt like, and like
Yeah.
nobody could play that game online, and SOCOM was always a big thing online, and people were just like, abandon ship. Portal 2's out. Like,
Yeah.
that game's better.
That was the game I picked up that night.
Portal 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mortal Kombat 9 came out that day too.
Oh yeah. Can't forget that. Big week that week, definitely for PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah. In more ways than one.
Yes, in more ways than the one. Well, I hope that answered the question there, especially with Sony. But I mean, maybe that was kind of a more non-Sony question. Maybe that was just for general. But we're a PlayStation podcast.
Well,
We
in
gotta talk about
general,
Sony.
yeah. Well, in general, yes, companies need to
Follow that
take
guideline.
advantage of expand everywhere. You can't just be online. You got to
Microsoft
market
does a pretty
on
good job of
TV.
that, really. So I
Well,
don't know if
yeah, because they have a
Microsoft needs.
billion. Because they have $1 billion. They can do whatever the hell they want.
I think Microsoft's pretty covered because they actually treat their exclusives like events.
Because they are events. They're like, oh my god, we got an exclusive.
But still, I mean, even if whatever is going to come out this year and whatever the new IP is, they do make a big deal out of
Yeah.
it. At least doesn't.
Oh yeah, like Halo 5. Like it was really weird. Like they announced the Halo 5 release date during Walking Dead. Like that's what I call marketing. You take the most popular show on TV and you announce your release date during a non-gaming event. Just Walking Dead, and you announce the release date during it.
Oh,
I
feel like the Walking Dead, the gaming audience is really the Walking Dead. Anyways,
Yeah, I just watch it because I mean that was the thing. Like I was watching Walking Dead and this really long Halo 5 live action commercial started playing, and I'm like, I bet they're gonna show the release date at the end of this. And sure enough, there was a release date October 27th. I'm like, wow, they announced the Halo 5 release date during a non-gaming event, just during Walking Dead. And you see, that's what I'm saying. That's marketing. You're taking a big event like Walking Dead, the season finale or whatnot, and you're announcing something. You're not only showing your game, but you're announcing something. So like even the core fan base, they're like, oh yeah, I know Halo 5's coming, but now you know when it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, that's a good example of marketing, like expanding your marketing outside the normal realms of just internet, and letting everybody know, even people who are not really into games, to know what's going on.
Like, oh, Halo,
and coming out in October. So,
oh, we gotta play it. I remember playing Halo 2.
I'm only 3 games behind.
Soon to be 3 games behind.
If only there was one game that collected them all together, so I can replay and get caught up for Halo 5.
Oh well, you can get the Xbox One Master Chief Collection bundle. The game works now.
What?
See, that's what it should be called. The Master Chief Collection Bundle. It works now edition.
It works now. But you see, that's marketing. That's how you do it. You show them the number 5, and then you say, hey, you can buy this bundle that comes with all of them together, so you can get caught up.
Yeah.
By October,
Yeah, that's one reason. And another reason is just so weird. It can't be a coincidence. Like after the game's like horrible launch, and now that it's basically the game's fixed now. So yep, this release basically kind of re-release it in sort of a way that it's with an Xbox One.
Well, yeah, that's what they're doing by adding in ODST.
Yeah,
right. They're giving everybody who bought it ODST for free.
Mm-hmm.
Like here you go, we throw another game in there, so now it's even more of a collection. There's another game in there.
Still got to get Reach one day.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, but it's not Master Chief.
Yeah,
neither was ODST either, but it's one of the oddball Halo games. I like ODST.
It's more of an expansion to Halo 3, so that's why it should still count.
Hey, I think ODST was really different from Halo 3. I mean, even though it was different.
No, but I mean, like, as far as, like, getting around the loophole that, it's not Master Chief, but it's more a part of Halo 3, which was Master Chief, so, like, that's what I'm saying. More like a loophole. Yeah. So, there you go.
I think that's about wraps up the viewer mail, at least, which is good.
Oh, we wrapped up viewer mail?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for everybody who sent in. Give them a clap. Round of applause. Thank you, guys. Some good questions, too. Guys really talking.
That's good, right?
Because I was
pressing questions about YouTube.
Pressing questions, good stuff.
Game.
Yeah, because I was afraid because like I said, I only wrote one item on our news list, but it's a big one. But I'm glad that we got some good viewer mail to kind of round out the episode because the one thing I got on my news thing is the big thing.
The big one from the Star Wars Celebration.
One. Yeah, the big one. The elephant in the room and all that stuff.
Not yet, but we'll have to see.
Not yet. But anyway, the big news this week, which you've all seen and read.
You've probably seen it and watched.
Is Star Wars Battlefront was
I feel like the Star Wars music already and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront was formally announced this week.
Yes,
or
formally
revealed or whatever, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
It was given a release date, November 17th.
Very interesting release date.
Yeah, that's the anniversary of the PlayStation. Right?
Yeah,
PlayStation release.
That's what they are.
So all the more reason to make a Star Wars bundle.
Yeah,
just saying.
Right. Yeah.
All the more reason for Star Wars Bundle to release it on the anniversary of the PlayStation's
And
launch.
Sony's really
Just
pressing
wink,
this
wink.
game for
Yeah.
PlayStation. It seems like maybe.
hmm Yeah, it's being marketed as a PlayStation game because they showed the announcement trailer had PlayStation stuff on it, like the PlayStation logo and all that.
Because Star
And
Wars Battlefront, well, okay, wait, I shouldn't make that claim that Star Wars Battlefront was mainly played on PS2 because it's also on PC and Xbox. But
mm,
I don't know. I kind of felt like that game was associated with PS2, Battlefront.
yeah, hmm
Because, it was also a greatest hits game on PS2 and all that stuff. And I don't know. I remember getting my greatest hits edition of Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2. Well,
yeah,
2 I got the day it came out. 2 I got instantly. But Best Star Wars Battlefront 2 was also greatest hits. So I don't know. I
yeah,
kind of associate with PlayStation a lot.
yeah. But it's being marketed as a PlayStation game, like we said. The trailer had the PlayStation logo on it, and they showed gameplay behind closed doors, and it was running on a PS4.
Not a PC.
Yeah,
Interesting.
not a PC.
Considering,
Yeah,
it's
so
DICE, and I would have thought, maybe it would have been a PC. But so supposedly there's behind closed doors on PS4. Gosh, if only
yeah.
we could see that gameplay.
Well, they're saving it for
I
more
know, and who knows? It might be
public
finished or a
event.
little rough, but
Yeah.
gosh, did anybody get any handy cam video? Please let me believe that
Yeah.
that cinematic trailer is gonna
I
look anything
believe.
like the game.
Yeah.
Please tell, because me and my brother we watched that trailer. And he was like, "Oh, is this something that you watch before you press start on the game?" I'm like, oh. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you
I don't know. Yeah, it's
because
weird.
look, we've gotten fooled from other companies that this is the in engine, and then it's totally different in the actual
Yeah.
game. So I honestly don't know what to believe. I have a hunch that the game will actually be akin to look like that, but like I guess just in terms of the smoothest, considering the
Yeah.
game's mainly online, then it won't. So
Yeah.
online there's
I
always
mean,
compromises,
it's
and
compromised, but I mean, you gotta think too.
yes,
Like, this is Dice making a game, but they're not held back by last gen. Like, it's only on
yes, yeah, that's
PS4 and
also one
Xbox
thing of
One, so
note.
that's
Yeah, too.
really going to help it at least look graphically better.
Mm.
But like you said, it is online only, so it's going to kind of pull it back a bit. Because they get that online,
Yeah, like there were a
fluid.
couple shots in the trailer where I think it was a little bit more believable when you had the Tie Fighters about to take off, like on Hoth, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry for my Star Wars knowledge; it is a little dusty. I found my Star Wars trivia book the other day, and I was terrible. No, no, dude, it's like
Oh.
this really thick Star Wars trivia book of like all 6 episodes. So of course I skipped the prequels, and I go to 4, 5, and 6. I suck at my Star Wars knowledge. Um, but yeah, I think that one shot on the trailer was like one that I kind of felt like I believe that was like really in game
Yeah.
of that.
hmm
Aside from like that smooth like cinematic trailer like thing that was really akin to Knights of the Old Republic, the Bioware game that had its
Yeah.
cinematic trailer, which like looked nothing like the game, which I don't think it was even supposed to look like it anyways, because we already
hmm
knew what that game was going to be like. But this is Dice, Dice is known for having really graphically incredible games. So,
Yeah.
and then we
And
also got to consider, this is quite some time after Battlefield 4, and graphics engines always improve.
yeah.
So it definitely showed in
Yeah.
that
And
cinematic trailer. If we're really willing to believe that was in engine and probably running on a PS4, so I don't know until we see really full gameplay at E3, which we're going to see.
yes. Yeah, because I think it's already been confirmed that the game's going to run at full 1080p, 60 frames per second.
Really? Okay,
So,
that's good.
yeah.
Yeah,
So you're going to get all full power out of it.
yeah, that's good. That's good to know.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, and I mean, then we kind of got to get to the other things where I don't know, this is a weird announcement
Yes,
because
it wasn't a
because
good
like you said,
announcement,
like
but it was at
yeah,
least
because I mean, it's like you said, there was no gameplay, which
no
I can
gameplay.
understand. I can
Yeah,
understand a
it's
bit
not
because
like
I
that's
mean, saving them
unheard
for
of, to
E3.
be honest. But like,
Yeah, it's not unheard
but for
of. I
Star
mean,
Wars
there's a lot of times we
Battlefront,
get that.
dude, because the last
Yeah,
game
you
came
think?
out about 10 years ago. You would think by the time you get an announcement, you would have at least I'd like to have seen some gameplay at this point because it's been
Yeah,
such a long time coming. Yes, expectations are sky high. It's not next gen. It's this gen, current gen. It's time to get ready to go. It's from Dice. Yes, they faltered a
yeah,
bit with Battlefield 4, but the game's fixed now. Battlefield 4 is just like,
yeah,
yes, let's see Star Wars Battlefront. And they saw what they got, which the cinematic trailer, yeah, it looked cool, but then the underlining stuff that came out, the details and all that stuff, that's
yeah.
what
I
gets
just
pissed people off. And I can feel
yeah,
for that, but maybe it's not fair to jump to conclusions fully yet until
Yeah, it's
E3.
not.
So
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, 'cause that's the thing. Like, I think I don't know. I don't know what EA and Dice are planning with this. Like, were they trying to just get the negatives out first? Because
it
like,
seemed like it.
what it seems like it. Because
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know. Because I
terrible.
mean, honestly, it just doesn't seem like like
The
none
way
of
to go.
this. Yeah, none of this seems like how like when you read it, you're like, how did EA think any of this was positive? You know,
Yeah, like
like
the
like
amount
like
of maps that you're gonna possibly. That was a rumor though. The
that was a
yeah, that
rumor.
was a rumor. We should say that that was a rumor of like how much
Donor
content's
maps.
actually in the game. And
Yeah,
oh,
but
let's also say in the last installment, what you got with the space battles. Oh, that's not there. Let's say that
yeah,
off the
that
bat. Why would you say that?
yeah, like why? Like none of that. How is any of that supposed to sound
That
positive?
doesn't
Like
sound good at all.
we
If you're
took out
talking about
space. We
2 generations ago, something that was in there, and we're in this generation, you're gonna say, "Oh, it's not in there. It's
nope.
a little too
And
difficult."
then
Well, what?
yeah, and then what? No, we saw Battlefront 3 running on a PS3 that had land to space
Oh, that's
battles.
right.
You know
Oh, can't forget about that. Yep. Yeah.
that canceled. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yes.
canceled
We can't.
Battlefront 3.
If a prototype game can have that, I don't
Yeah, it
know
was a
how one
prototype.
of the most prolific shooter developers out there, alongside one of the bigger mega corporations of gaming, can't figure out how to do space battles.
It's like that scene from Iron Man 3. Tony Stark built it in a cave. Why can't you do
Well,
it?
Pandemic did it just fine in
Yeah,
2004
they
when that
did
game
it.
was in development
They made Star Wars Battlefront 3 in a cave. Why can't EA do it?
with millions of dollars and one of the most prolific shooter developers and currently in the business right now. I don't really understand. I mean, and they're known for the vehicular battles in Battlefront. I mean, not Battlefront,
Yeah.
no, in
Well,
Battlefield.
well, I mean, well. Stepping back 1 second,
Like,
there is vehicle battle in the game. Like you can
yes.
still,
Oh, yeah. Let's be
drive
clear
the
on
the
that. You
Tie
can still
fighters
do the
and
Tie Fighter
the
bit,
X-wings,
and God knows
and
how
so
high
there's
you can
still
go.
yeah, there's still aerial combat. So you're still gonna have that, just not in space where you're gonna be like going onto like the the Star Destroyer and taking it out from the inside and all that.
Yeah, and
But
actually, let's not put Battlefront 2 on the highest of high horse because let's be honest. If you do go back to Battlefront 2, the space battles were a bit problematic. I,
yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
they
I
weren't the
still have
best thing in the
fun with,
world. Let's be
but they were
honest.
fun.
Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah.
were fun. Yeah, they were. Yeah, it was awesome piloting all your favorite Star Wars vehicles, but I mean, to me, it just felt like a little dead. I remember playing it a lot. And I just like, oh god, get me inside the droid big ship so that I can get out of here. And
Yeah.
then, but I
Yeah.
mean, it had problems, but
But
they can always be fixed. But
yeah, but like I said, it's just the point that we saw, like you said, this prototype running on
yeah,
PS3 where it was like, oh, you can get in your ship, fly into space, do a space battle, come back down to land, and continue a land battle. Like that was freaking
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, don't,
And
yeah,
but
an
yet it's like,
understatement.
you can't do that.
It's very
Like
odd,
it's really
just some
odd.
of the
And
stuff that they said. I didn't. I
so
almost
I
took
mean that was
offense to it, almost like how much
yeah.
stuff they were
I mean
saying, like of negative.
like I, s-
But
like I said, I think it's just them getting the negatives out
I
of the way
guess
because I
so.
don't
So
think
then
they
the
really
stigma
expected
won't
any of
have
this
to
to be
come like
positive.
after the
Because
game when the game's
yeah,
about to release.
well, the biggest thing for me was no space battles. That's the one that got me the
A
most.
little bit, yeah, a little bit. But then
That
again,
no,
yeah.
that's the one that got me the most. The rest, I kind of got over. Like, okay, there's no prequel stuff. I'm
But
like, that's
dude, when
fine.
you think about it, the prequels look as much as people want to hate on prequel material. But dude, you got to remember, Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, the prequels did tout some of the biggest and best Battlefront maps.
I
They
guess, but
did,
you can
dude.
still
Like
make.
freaking.
I guess, but you can still make big Battlefield maps out of the
Yeah, I
the
know, but
original
it's just I
trilogy.
like those prequel environments, and I know as much people
I know,
maybe hate like the
I know,
characters or the
but
story of the prequels. The maps, dude, they did sport some of the best maps in Battlefront history. Just saying.
I know, but you gotta think too. Like we were stuck in the prequels for so long because
At that
of
time.
the movies, because the
Oh
movies
yeah.
and the cartoons and all the little games were all set in the prequel timeline. Like we're finally moving on to the original timeline, getting that old stuff back. Like the ATA walkers and the X-wing fighters and the Tie fighters and all that stuff. We're finally getting back to that timeline. So I think it's great that they're like embracing it. Like this is what we're using, and it's gonna be full Super HD and 60 frames per second and all original sound effects and all that stuff. Like really kind of bring you back to that original trilogy. So I think it's kind of cool that they're kind of focusing on that in a way. So that's why I kind of got over when they said no prequel stuff. I'm like, I was kind of like, but then I thought, well, we're getting the old stuff, so that's cool.
Yeah, because maybe I would have
Um,
expected this Battlefront to be like maybe kind of like a greatest hits kind of deal, where like you,
yeah.
not saying like you just
My throat.
take the old maps and redesign them or whatever, but now that I always thought about it, like maybe having the prequel stuff is not too much of a big deal anymore. But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I just really like the prequel maps in the original
yeah,
Battlefront games. They were awesome.
yeah. But it's okay.
Yeah.
And then the other big thing is like there's no traditional campaign,
Well, which has
which
kind of been a thing for Battlefront already, but
I mean, yeah.
there was a campaign in Battlefront 2.
Yeah, but I had to tell you about it. Like you forgot about it
Oh yeah, because
because I brought it up. I brought it up on another episode, and you're like, Battlefront 2 didn't have a campaign. I'm like, yes, it did, and I had to like explain it to you, how it like explain how the clones died or whatever.
yeah.
But
Oh well,
yeah,
the campaign deal here for that. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, we already know Dice doesn't really make great campaigns,
yeah,
so I mean, I don't want a half-assed bad campaign. Yeah, sure, it'll look graphically amazing probably, but I don't want like a half-assed
yeah.
campaign in Battlefront. So
hmm So there you go.
I'll take the
And I
no
mean,
campaign. That's fine.
and then Battlefront 1 didn't even have a campaign
No,
at
it
all.
didn't. No,
The first one,
no.
so
So
it's
people
not really
shouldn't forget about that.
it's not really too big a deal. I mean there's still a single player mode. There's like these like almost like spec op missions, or at least that's what it sounds like, spec ops, where you kind of do these like single player missions, and you can do them in co-op. So so if you want to do these like, little co-op missions without the hectic online battles.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then, like I said, there's just a lot we don't know. Like
Yeah,
we
there
don't really
isn't,
know how
and
many
there's
maps there is.
no
We don't know how
gameplay that
many.
has been publicly shown.
There's no gameplay. We don't know the game modes. We
Nope.
don't know. There's a lot of stuff we don't know. So we can't write it off yet.
And what content's like on the DLC or
Yes.
like what's that's another thing of note too, right?
Yeah.
What was it like a couple weeks after the game's release? There's like a DLC pack that comes with the game or whatever for
Yeah.
episode 7.
It. Yeah. That sounds really cool though. It's a they're putting out. It's actually free if you like pre-order the game.
Oh, it's
So.
behind a pre-order paywall. I don't know if that people are
Well,
gonna.
who cares? If you're getting the game, you're gonna pre-order it anyway.
I don't know people who get it for Christmas. I don't know if they're gonna be fans of that.
Well, okay. Well, make sure you ask Santa for the deluxe edition because the deluxe edition comes with it too.
That's my question. Well, the game's already up for PSN right now to pre-order.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering where's my $120 edition where we get everything.
Yeah.
Like Battlefield
No, there's just
Hardline.
Yeah, there's just the deluxe edition right now, which gets you some little extra perks and weapons and access to that DLC. But I mean, if you pre-order the regular edition, you still get that DLC. But if you get the deluxe edition, it's in there. And I'm pretty sure the DLC is just packed in the game anyway. Like
Yeah,
even
I'm
if you
willing
don't
to believe
pre-order,
that. Maybe yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is because I think it's how it was at Battlefront 4. I did
You mean Battlefield
pre-order
4.
it. Battlefield 4, yeah, not Battlefront 4. Go in the future. No, yeah, Battlefield 4. I didn't pre-order it. I just bought it with my PS4 at launch.
Oh yeah.
And it had the China Rising DLC packed in. It wasn't really a pre-order thing. It was just packed in the game.
Yeah.
So odds are, even if you don't pre-order, you're still going to get the DLC anyway. So if you're getting it for Christmas, you're still probably going to get that DLC. It's already going to be packed in.
Yeah.
So don't freak out too much. Like DLC, like pre-order DLC. No. It's going to be packed in.
Oh, the DLC
But,
paywall.
Yeah, but it sounds cool though. Like
Yeah,
it's
the
like you said,
content
it's that
itself,
episode
yeah.
7. It's that episode 7 content you wanted.
I know that's well. Actually, I would have liked to see that in the main game itself, but that's okay.
Well, no, it's gonna be like I said, it's a free DLC. So it gives you some episode 7 stuff. It picks up right where episode 6 left. Well, not right, but it's like after episode 6, before 7. So it's like the bridge between them.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a battle. So that sounds awesome. You get that. That 7 cross promotion.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool. But if they announce a season pass for Battlefront, do you think you'd buy it? Like if you bought the game.
Well, okay, wait.
Well,
wait,
I know.
That's contingent on like how good
The
game.
game, game itself is
Yeah,
good.
if the game itself
But-
is good, yes, I'll buy it. Well,
but,
just because
like-
it's a season pass, I'm going to avoid them, dude. I buy season passes, but I mean, there's
Yeah.
probably obviously going to be a season pass for this game, but
Yeah, I don't.
I think that they haven't put a $120 deluxe edition link for this game yet, like Battlefield Hardline. I don't know if they're going to do it. They might, leading up to the game's release as they start announcing more things. But I don't know. I mean, they already kind of come clean today about stuff of the DLC, and
Yeah, because this is I don't know because I don't buy season passes too often. Like it's only for like games I really like, you know.
yeah,
Um, but like Star Wars Battlefront is a game where like if it's good, then I'd probably buy it too because you know I love Star Wars
yeah, me
and
too.
I
I
want to
love
have all the
Battlefield.
content.
I love Battlefront.
I want the maps and all that, you know. Like I play Battlefield and play Call of Duty, but I don't care about them enough to buy the season pass. Like I don't care. I don't really want more maps. I'm fine with what's here. But like something like Star Wars, it's like I want more of it, you know.
Yeah, and let's not forget the XBLA edition of Battlefront 2 also had DLC.
Yeah.
Granted, that was just through patches and stuff, but
Patches.
yeah,
That was something. Um, yeah, but what I expect with Star Wars Battlefront, like as far as like beta, because I'm pretty sure they'll do
I
beta.
hope so, dude.
They
What if
gotta, they
they
gotta make.
don't? Like, I have a
No, they
feeling
gotta do.
it's not gonna be a beta.
No, they
Do
gotta
you
do a
think come
beta,
E3
man.
they'll announce a beta date?
Yeah, no. Here's what I'm expecting to
No.
happen
Oh,
at
wait.
E3.
Okay.
Here's what I'm expecting to happen. Here's what I'm expecting to happen at E3.
For EA's
They're going
conference.
to either at EA's conference or maybe Sony's
Oh,
conference.
okay,
You
yeah.
don't know if they got it
Let's
locked
not leave
down.
that out too. But
But
EA,
at one of the two, they're going to show off the first gameplay and
yes,
say, "Here you go. Here's Star Wars Battlefront." They're going
running
to play a
in
game. They're going to
engine, no
running an
BS.
engine. They're gonna show it. They're gonna show it. They're gonna show Star Wars Battlefront. You know, show it and say, "Look, here's Star Wars Battlefront. People are actually playing it." And then they're gonna say, "And the beta starts right now.
That's not
PS4, go
gonna
download."
happen. Right now,
Dude, they did it.
I
They
know,
did it
but
with no. They did it with Hardline. That's exactly how they did it with Hardline last year.
maybe.
They showed.
But this is a new.
They
This
sh-
is like it's not a new IP, but it's a new thing, and I think maybe they want to like ride out the hype train for a little bit. Yeah, I know they did it before. Battlefield was already a thing that they wanted to really clear up and like, hey, look, we're gonna do a really early beta for this, so then it won't break.
well, the Hardline beta was really early too because that game didn't come out till this past month.
For the instant beta for Battlefield
Yeah,
for
like
Battlefront, I don't see it.
yeah, I mean, it worked for Hardline. It was a
Yeah,
big thing. That's exactly how they did it for
and,
Hardline. They showed the first gameplay of it, running a
and
multiplayer match, and then at the end they said, "Okay, you can play the beta right now on PS4. Go to your PS4, click it, and then download it." And it's like, and it worked. People were playing it. People got excited, you know, and that'd be a great way to build that hype for Battlefront. You know, people are a little negative right now, but once they see it running and they're like, "Oh man, I want to play it," and then you get to play it that
yeah, that
night.
would really help out
You
the
know,
stigma of the game right now. That's in.
even if it's just one map, one mode, people are still gonna be playing the hell out of
Yeah,
it
that's true.
that
But
weekend.
yeah, and also should be of note that Battlefront is closer to release than what the Battlefield Hardline beta was.
Well, at the
At the
time, well, we didn't
time,
know that at the time. Actually, at the time, Battle, no, Hardline was set for October,
yes.
so it was actually closer at the
Oh, it's
time because they
closer.
thought it was coming out in October, and then but I mean, with Battlefront, I just really don't see them not doing a beta because this is something they need to test it and make sure it works.
I hope so.
I mean, look at.
I don't know why.
I mean, you look at. I mean, they did it right with Hardline. They did like what 2, 3 betas for that before it came out.
Yeah.
So, you know, with Battlefront, they gotta get those betas out, and I mean, and I really could see it doing like the instant beta thing because that was the big thing at last E3 was instant stuff. They announced something and it's available now, like
Well, yeah.
Hardline beta
They do
available
it,
now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, Entwine available now. You know, it's just stuff like that where they announce something and it's available right now. You know, what was the other one? Oh, the Dead Rising 3 DLC. It's like Turbo, Obo, HD, whatever the hell, available now. You know that thing.
Yeah, we got to get our available now the V3. You're thinking that's one of them?
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of them. That's going to be the big. That's a showstopper right there. If you show off Star Wars Battlefront and you let people
Then
play
shoot,
it.
I wouldn't be able to watch the Bethesda conference if that happens.
Just have your laptop. Just have your laptop open so you can watch the Bethesda one and play your Star Wars Battlefront.
Stuck at Battlefront, I won't be able to do anything. I'll be dying.
Well, no, you can just listen to it. Like listen to it when they talk about like Dishonored 2, you be like, okay, whatever. But then when they say Fallout 4, you're like, what? And then you and then you quit out of Battlefront or something, and you start looking at Fallout 4.
If the beta
like,
downloads in time,
Yeah.
if the downloads are going to be awful because of the amount of people that are going to be on the server.
Yeah.
Uh, I'll be contradictory. I don't think they'll announce a beta, but I don't think it'll be available now. But it'll probably be available within like a month's time or so before. Kind of maybe get the anticipation of it and then get beta signups because I don't think it'll be a public beta. Well, of course it'll be public, but I
Mm,
think it'll be a closed beta.
I don't know. We'll see.
I, I don't see it.
I don't know, man.
It's
That was the
almost in
big
the
thing
too
last
much
year.
sense realm
I
of
mean, yeah, I know, but that was the big thing last year. Instant betas. I mean, it wasn't just hardline; it was other stuff too,
yeah, I
doing
know.
like instant
It's
betas.
just
Like you get to play it this week or tonight or whatever.
Battlefront's a different thing, and it's going to be really different. And Battlefield was already kind of an established thing that's already had its betas for a while. And Battlefront, even though it's an established franchise, it's something new and it's going to be different. I just don't see it. Not the pressure bubble or anything. Just don't see it. If it's there, then I'm glad to be proven wrong. But I just don't. I don't see it. Battlefront beta. Well,
The,
yeah, like one at
the
all. Like I don't know why I
yeah,
don't see one at all.
the
I hope there
the
is.
force is not strong with this one.
No, unfortunately, it sets the service strongly until we see gameplay and more details. And I just yay! Taking one of my childhood franchises and screwing with it. It didn't take you much, did it? This pisses me off. It makes me sad. I mean, in 10 years, dude, 10 years. Well, it's shown in the graphics at least, and from what that in cinematic trailer, at least 10 years, and it's just. I
Yeah,
don't know. We don't know yet.
but
I don't know.
we'll see. We'll see come June. It's only what 2 months away,
Less.
so we'll see. A little less than 2 months, but we'll see. We'll. Oh God, man. Well, well, I don't know. I don't want to talk E3 till we get closer, but God, I don't know what we're gonna have planned for that. We're gonna have like
Oh, we'll
some
have to do separate podcast.
separate episodes, man. We're just gonna be doing all
One
kind
will
of
probably be
lots of stuff to go
dedicated
over.
to the Bethesda one entirely, even whether or not Fallout 4 is announced.
If Fallout 4 is not announced, I will do an entire hour-long show on like why the hell Bethesda didn't announce Fallout 4. Like I would do a whole rant for an hour if like Fallout 4 is just not announced.
Dude, I would just love, not love, but like I would just.
No,
That's
like
like the
if
biggest
Fallout if
troll in
no,
history.
yeah, exactly. If Fallout 4 is not announced this year,
Because
I will
like
go on an
Bethesda were like,
hour-long
"Oh, we're
rant.
doing a separate conference this year. We're being
Hmm
really separate." Oh, guess what? Not one of their biggest franchise is not announced their sequel.
Yeah, there is like no way in hell that is not that they're not going to announce Fallout
But
4.
I'm
Like
thinking in my
people are
alternate reality, what if it isn't? The amount of people that will
like I'm
flip out.
serious. Like if I was there, I swear I would like get people to start throwing tomatoes on stage if they don't announce Fallout 4.
And I still love the meme where like Todd Howard's like, "We're gonna talk about today Elder Scrolls Online," even though it would already be out on PS4 by then. But we'll talk about Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls Online updates.
God no. Like I would go into that conference with a bag of tomatoes ready. Like if they like literally walk off that stage without announcing Fallout 4, we're just chunking tomatoes at the stage. Just like
Well, they're
no,
already
there's
off the
no
stage
way.
by then. What are you going to throw it at?
I well what
Vandalize the stage.
they're going to clean it up, I guess. I don't know,
That's
but
it. Oh, oh, Fallout for you.
oh God, we just burn the building down. I don't know,
I'm
but
just thinking in my alternate dimension reality if Fallout 4 is not announced at E3 this year. It's just the amount of people that will flip the hell out.
yeah, like Fallout 4 doesn't have to come out this year, but it has to at least be announced. You know,
Yeah.
but like I said, we'll see. We're getting there. We're getting to June. We'll all see then about Fallout 4 and Star Wars Battlefront and everything else.
So many other things too.
So
Like
many other
Sony
things.
exclusives for this fall.
Yeah,
Please, more.
but yeah, but we're getting we're at the hour past the hour mark again.
Mm-hmm.
So time to wrap this up. So this has been the PSBS as the PlayStation podcast. This is episode 13, and remember, if you want to give us viewer mail, like 5 people did this week, which is awesome and amazing.
Well,
If you want to do that,
and then I took out a
7. Oh, you didn't have to say that, but
Well,
they're kind of the same.
But this is at the point now where I want good questions. I don't want
Good questions.
This is also a thing, though.
Well, no,
like,
we don't.
It's not
No.
in that I shouldn't say that as a guarantee that if you write in, your question will be answered. But it's a very high chance. But
Very high chance.
it's
Yeah.
just I want good questions. I don't want junk questions. Junk questions will
Okay,
just
we
not
won't.
get answered. and I won't call out
I
who,
know.
but they just won't get
I
in.
know, but I don't. I know. I just don't want. I just don't want people to be discouraged. Like, oh, I can't think of a good enough question. No, it just send
Well,
us a
I mean,
question.
if it's a question, I'll determine whether or not that's good. We'll have to see.
Yeah. So
So
we'll see.
I would be glad
But
to see them.
yeah. But if you want to send us a question, there's a great many ways to do that. You can do. You can comment directly on the YouTube video. You can message me directly on YouTube. You can message us directly on PlayStation. You can message me, PSN Body Boys. You can message my co-host, PSN Double Is. We also have the Facebook fan page up. You can go on that, comment, like it, and all that. Because we got some people who like it now. We're like over the 10 mark. So
Oh,
yeah. People start liking that. You can start giving us comments and messages on that. Um, Also, another thing is, like I said, we're on SoundCloud now. So if you want to, download us as an MP3, so you can listen to us on your phone or whatever without, leaving a browser opening, that's there. The link will be there. Or you can just look us up directly on SoundCloud, just the PSBS podcast. You'll find us. Like I said, episode 12 is already up. 13 should be up by the time you're hearing this. If you're listening to this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on SoundCloud, then well, good, you already found it. Thanks.
fantastic!
Um, Fantastic, yes. But yeah. So so like I said, this has been the PSBS, the PlayStation podcast. So I'm your host, Cody, PSN Body Voice. My co-host here is
Andrew Arenas double is, and I hope you guys
and
enjoy Shovel Knight this week.
yep.
And there's also the penultimate episode of Powers.
Oh yeah, I gotta catch up on my powers.
Maybe we could do a Power spoiler cast. I don't know. That's just an idea.
We'll see. We'll see.
If anyone is interested in that, which I'm sure that
Yeah.
people are because people watch it. It's not like
Yeah.
nobody watches it. It's not really a joke.
Yeah, I'm not completely caught up yet, but I'll catch up.
You will.
I'm only like 2 episodes behind.
Ooh. Don't worry, I'm 5 episodes behind.
Oh. Well, yeah. So I'll catch up though this weekend.
Alrighty.
We'll see. So,
Have a
but
good
anyway,
week, everybody.
have a good week, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week on the PSBS. And click.